Honesty is the first chapter in the book of wisdom. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. I cannot live without books. I predict future happiness for Americans if they can prevent the government from wasting the labors of the people under the pretense of taking care of them. Educate and inform the whole mass of the people. They are the only sure reliance for the preservation of our liberty. I like the dreams of the future better than the history of the past. If a nation expects to be ignorant and free in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance. The God who gave us life gave us liberty at the same time. In matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. Delay is preferable to error. Question with boldness even the existence of a God, because if there be one, he must more approve the homage of reason than that of blindfolded fear. I would rather be exposed to the inconveniences attending to much liberty than those attending to small a degree of it. Do you want to know who you are? Don't ask, act. Action will delineate and define you. Never spend your money before you have earned it. An informed citizenry is at the heart of a dynamic democracy. The man who reads nothing at all is better educated than the man who reads nothing but newspapers. I'm a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it. I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man. Every generation needs a new revolution. I have no fear that the result of our experiment will be that men may be trusted to govern themselves without a master. The most valuable of all talents is that of never using to words when one will do. Our liberty depends on the freedom of the press, and that cannot be limited without being lost. The legitimate powers of government extend to such acts only as are injurious to others. I have learned to be less confident in the conclusions of human reason and give more credit to the honesty of contrary opinions. The spirit of resistance to government is so valuable on certain occasions that I wish it always to be kept alive. The glow of one warm thought is to me worth more than money. Timid men prefer the calm of despotism to the tempestuous sea of liberty. I never considered a difference of opinion in politics, in religion, in philosophy, as cause for withdrawing from a friend. A little rebellion now and then is a good thing. If a law is unjust, a man is not only right to disobey it, he is obligated to do so. The harder the conflict, the greater the triumph. I would rather belong to a poor nation that was free than to a rich nation that had ceased to be in love with liberty. I'm a greater believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. It is neither wealth nor splendor, but tranquility and occupation which give happiness. The most fortunate of us in our journey through life frequently meet with calamities and misfortunes which may greatly afflict us, and to fortify our minds against the attacks of these calamities and misfortunes should be one of the principal studies and endeavors of our lives. I never will, by any word or act, bow to the shrine of intolerance, or admit a right of inquiry into the religious opinions of others. Experience hath shown that even under the best forms of government those entrusted with power have in time, and by slow operations, perverted it into tyranny. I am not an advocate for frequent changes in laws and constitutions, but laws and institutions must go hand in hand with the progress of the human mind. When the people fear their government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty. The second office of this government is honorable and easy. The first is but a splendid misery. Never trouble another for what you can do for yourself. Advertisements contain the only truths to be relied on in a newspaper. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. In matters of taste, swim with the current. A strong body makes the mind strong. It is in our lives and not our words that our religion must be read. If there is one principle more deeply rooted in the mind of every American, it is that we should have nothing to do with conquest. He who knows best knows how little he knows. The greatest danger to American freedom is a government that ignores the Constitution. I abhor war and view it as the greatest scourge of mankind. I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. The care of human life and happiness, and not their destruction, is the first and only object of good government. Ignorance is preferable to error, and he is less remote from the truth who believes nothing than he who believes what is wrong. I find that the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have. Every citizen should be a soldier. This was the case with the Greeks and Romans, and must be that of every free state. The government that governs least governs best. The man who never looks into a newspaper is better informed than he who reads them, inasmuch as he who knows nothing is nearer to the truth than he whose mind is filled with falsehoods and errors. I hope our wisdom will grow with our power, and teach us that the less we use our power, the greater it will be